guys, welcome back to another channel's members video. In the same exact place I record all channel member videos. I need to switch it up. I can't record every video in this corner of my bed like this. However, it's just so comfy. And that's probably why we always end up here. Anyway, I will attempt to switch it up at some point. But I thought today we could just chat and catch up about like my recent video about Georgiana, the changes I was going to make to this membership but have discovered is a terrible idea, and I feel like there was something else that we could talk about, but if I remember it, we will discuss it. Okay, so first of all, my recent video on Georgie and Wickham. Thank you so much for all of your guys' love and support on that video. It meant so much to me. I had a ton of fun making that video. I thought that being able to really examine the story from Georgie's viewpoint and I think, yeah, do some creative writing and storytelling myself was like really nice. Like it was a good change of pace, and I have always wanted to be a novelist. And so it let me like use that like part of my brain too, while also just learning really cool and fun things and hopefully helping everyone have deeper insight into Pride and Prejudice and the time period. Now, I know a lot of you want me to do like more videos like that, and I totally want to, but I'm also like, I would have to feel deeply inspired. And I'm like, I don't know how regularly I can feel deeply inspired, you know. However, when I do find a true moment of inspiration, I'll probably make another one like that. And yeah, I was thinking one of your guys' suggestions was really good of like Colonel Brandon and Eliza Sr. entire plot line, because there's so much going on there. You know, like his cousin, the one that gets a divorce. So I might have to examine that one. That one could be really fun. That video, though, of Georgie and Wickham gave me so much insight into what Georgiana went through and how we see her portrayed when Elizabeth meets her. So you know how Lizzie meets her and she's so scared of doing wrong and she can like barely speak, it seems like in the book. And while I think Georgie was always kind of struggling with probably social anxiety and low self-esteem even prior to the Wickham thing, I think that like now reading that, I'm like, how much her self-esteem is shattered by the point she meets Elizabeth is because of what went down with Wickham, right? Because that was just a year prior. She just faced this immense betrayal. I mean, you just don't go through something like that unscathed emotionally. So we're seeing a kind of broken Georgiana in the Pemberley scenes of Pride and Prejudice, right? And so I'm so glad that Jane Austen lets us know that like it all ends happy for Georgie. She gets to live with Elizabeth and Darcy, and I'm sure Elizabeth helps her gain more self-esteem and stuff. So, however, telling the story also made me dislike Wickham more. Like, if you didn't think you could dislike Wickham more, I found a way. I was like, Wickham is terrible, but you know who else I even more am like, you were the worst human being ever, is Georgiana's governess, Mrs. Young. Like, just how much she was, 100% in cahoots with Wickham, like, you know, obviously as the book says. But just to like do that, like to anyone, I'm just like, I don't think I think truly, fully mentally examined how much Mrs. Young had to be part of this entire ordeal, right? I discovered a lot making that video. Anyway, so there is that. That was fun to make. Oh, okay. So, you know how my like last chat with you guys, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to put the vlogs in the membership. It only took me like 1 month to figure out why this was a terrible idea. So a few different reasons. One, I'm just missing my vlog audience. And I was already feeling bad. I felt like I was abandoning them. But like, I was just like feeling very uncomfortable, like I was saying, with this like realization that had hit on this next level of like, everyone can watch my life. Like, how do I like sort of like stop that a little bit? But I think I've had like a month to sort of really process that feeling, and I'm feeling better about posting on my vlogs again, and I really miss my vlog audience over there. And it's not like you guys can't all subscribe to my vlog too if you love the vlogs. So you can go watch them at Electra Dashwood. The other reason is that YouTube has made this change of where now when you go and you look at like the videos tab on my channel, it's showing all of the channel membership videos, not just to channel members, but to everyone. So it's pretty much saying like, look at all the channel membership stuff you could watch, right, if you join, which is great. And I'm sure YouTube's doing this to try to get us more like channel members. However, I'm like, if I was a brand new subscriber to this like history and literature channel, and I went to the videos tab and I saw all these vlogs, like pretty much drowning out the actual history and literature content, I would feel confused about what this channel was about, what was happening, everything. So I think also just from like a technical channel management point of view, it's not a good idea to have the vlogs and the membership either. So we're just going back to what it was before, where you guys get history and literature discussions and stuff, and the vlogs are on the vlog channel. And also, like, I really appreciated what one of you guys was saying about the need for creators to find like sort of the perfect balance, you know, between how much they share online versus how much they keep private. And that's actually something that's very hard to do. You know, I think a lot of people think about parasocial relationships of someone who, like, as a viewer is really attached to certain creators or something, right? But like, it goes the other way too. Like, creators get very, very emotionally attached to their audiences. And it's almost like we now have like this collective being in our life that we care about, that we're excited to share stuff with. Like, it's very hard to describe and put into words, but I've been missing my vlog collective being. And obviously you guys are welcome to join that too. I genuinely think that in like a couple of decades, people will be like writing like psychological analysis of the sort of like social media creator / audience parasocial relationships, because it's a fascinating goldmine of like, I don't know, of interesting new dynamics that aren't really explained. And I have to say too, that when I did first become a creator, this was one of those things that was like the most unexpected to me. I had never heard the term parasocial before, which if you aren't familiar with that, that is where like it's the one-to-many relationship, which traditionally was something that people like movie stars had, right? Like where there's one movie star and they have a bunch of fans. And the relationship between them and their fans, or their fans to them, is called parasocial. And it's just like, there's so many like positives to parasocial relationships. I think they get a very bad rap on YouTube and on the internet in general right now, because there's obviously a lot of dangers. But in the positives, I think that they fill this human need sometimes to have very low maintenance friendships. You're like, oh, like it feels like I have this friend living like this interesting life that's different from mine, right? Like as I watch different creators, I'm like, oh, I now know what it's like to live in that town and be a mom or be a whatever they are. And like, you now have like these extended friendships and sources of information on different people's life and lifestyle that broadens your worldview, and just a lot of very interesting things, right? I'm saying there's like a lot of good to parasocial relationships. And then like on the flip side, as a creator, like you do get very, very attached to your audience. And I don't know what I would really do without you guys. It would be like this weird void in my life now that I've had you there. I don't know. And so for me, about 3,000 subscribers is when I discovered this thing that parasocial relationships exist, because I saw the sudden shift in the way people were commenting on my videos, where now instead of interacting with me sort of as just like a, I don't know, peer to peer on the internet, suddenly I was in this parasocial role and I was like one to many. And I could tell just from the way they were wording their comments and a lot of stuff people started saying, such as like, you are my best friend. Watching your videos is why I'm still alive. Like they, help me stay mentally sound. Your voice is what puts me to sleep at night. At first, I was like kind of really overwhelmed by it because I was just like, I don't know how I'm this many people's best friend or how like I'm helping people's mental health or anything by just talking about history and literature on the internet. Like it was kind of like this very overwhelming thing I had for a second, even though I was like incredibly honored by it. But yeah, after learning about parasocial relationships and what they were, like I felt a lot better because I was like, oh, this is just normal. Like this is a normal part of this job. And I've like heard the same thing from other creators. I was once in like this group call of like creators talking to this brand, and they were like, what is like one of the biggest ways you feel about your audience? And like pretty much all of the creators agreed that we feel honored. We feel honored that people let us into their lives, that people choose to spend time with us, that we are there through their good times and their bad times. And yeah, like our voices put them to sleep at night when they're feeling anxious. Like that is just like this immense privilege. And the fact that people choose us, to be in their lives in that way is like, it's kind of like this crazy thing that I think you can't really conceive of until it happens, And I just remember the brand that we were talking to was just like, what? That was not the answer he was expecting. And I don't know how we got off on this random side tangent, but it has been fun chatting with you guys. So let me know in the comments down below if I did more like story-based videos, sort of like the Georgiana and Wickham one, what like story would you want to hear? Like what book? Like, do you want to hear the Brandon Eliza story? Let's see, what other stories could there be? Ooh, young Anne Elliot and Captain Wentworth. There's an option. Oh my word, there's too many good ones. Okay, let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, keep being awesome because you're awesome. Bye.